guys, what's up? It's your girl Riri and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a bit different. It is a case that I wanted to talk about that just recently happened. This will be the case of Valentina or Valentine Gilbert. So let's dive in and talk about this girl that has made some recent news in the Mexican media, and her name is Marianne Gonzaga. She was born on November 1st of 2007, and she does come from a very wealthy family. There is not much information about her childhood or what it was like growing up for her. She did become very famous and very popular on TikTok and Instagram. So she posted mommy content, and she is like considered a mommy blogger on TikTok. She was in a relationship with this guy called Jose. She started posting on TikTok at just 15 years old back in 2022. She had 150,000 followers on Instagram and around 400,000 followers on TikTok. But after this case blew up, her TikTok and Instagram following actually went up, and just recently, in a couple days, her Instagram following is right over 199,000 followers on Instagram. So it went up after this case blew up. Even before this case and this crime happened, there was already some drama behind this girl, really nasty things about her that came in late before all of this happened. And one of them is that she posted a already deleted TikTok of her basically explaining how her mom lets her do literally whatever she wants. She doesn't get punished. This is the TikTok that I'm about to show you guys. My mom lets me go to parties whenever I want. She lets me go to the clubs. She lets me go to whatever clubs I want to go to come home at 7 in the morning, drink, smoke, have a collection of alcohol and vapes in my room. She lets me get tattoos, lets me go out with my guy friends and girlfriends, invite boys to come sleep over at my house, lets me dress however I want, and she gives me whatever necessary money I need, and she never punishes me. So this is a kind of, you can tell like something is not okay. It's like the mom never punished her, she never grounded her. This is of course a very spoiled brat behavior, and already you can tell with the behavior because she also posted a TikTok that's still on her account of how she got kicked out of high school. Now this girl, a lot of her ex-friends would say how of a mean girl she was and how a bully she was in high school as well, and how she made an Instagram account called @pedotasinterloma that's now gone private, which is basically her showing her disturbing behavior, so her drinking, smoking, and allegedly taking some drugs in this Instagram account so that people would just see how she was. Now, another thing that also came in light is that, as she claimed, she went to the clubs. At the time, she's like 14, 15, and 16 years old. So it's like, how the hell can she go to the club? Well, with easy access, you can buy a fake ID to go to any clubs. There is one video that has definitely gone up, and a lot of people have seen it, where she is trying to go to a club and she is showing her fake ID, and she is showing a government ID, which is called the INE card, and her fake name is Alejandra. But the security guard could catch the lie. He was like, I'm not letting you in. You think I'm stupid. You think on my forehead it's written idiot and stupid. She keeps saying, no, I don't see you, you know, trying to like make her way into like, I'll be cutesy, like, no, like my name really is Alejandra, like, and I am this age, da 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 da. But he's just not buying it. Another video that has surfaced is that she threw a bottle of Bacardi, yes, to a male friend. Now, you don't see her in the video, but you can easily recognize her voice that it is her. And the friend's like, of course, taunting her and saying, throw it at me, come on now, throw it at me. And she actually did, because you could hear the bottle crash. And then the friend goes on and says, I'm gonna sue you now.
Pégame con la botella, pégame con la botella. Agarra la botella, pégame, pégame. ¿Por qué me sacaste una botella de Bacardi? Pégame. Te queda muy claro. Con familia no me tocas. Pégame. Tócame. Vas. Con tu botella. Tócame. Sí, bueno, que me va a matar esta vieja. Verga, la hija de su puta madre, güey. Lanzó una puta botella, güey. Me trató de matar. La hija de puta.
Estas pinches viejas me cagaron, güey.
Güey, Marianne, te saqué en cámara, te voy a demandar.
It doesn't excuse her behavior, of course, but like, why first go and taunt your friend to like throw the bottle at you? You get the bottle thrown at you, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna sue. A lot of people on Twitter now, which is X, which were her ex-friends, would tell stories of how she would pay security to go to the clubs. She would allegedly consume drugs, and drink excessive alcohol. And they also mentioned that she had already had an intervention, so a AA intervention, at just 15 years old. If you guys don't know what AA is, it's Anonymous Alcoholic Anonymous, or Anonymous Alcoholics. You can tell she already had an alcohol issue at just 15 years old. And now the pretty messed up thing here is that on Instagram, she had also a big following, which meant that she could post whatever she wanted. She would post nude pictures of girls that she didn't like or that she absolutely hated, which practically meant that she was committing CP. This girl is like, of course not well. Like, who would post things like that? It's not okay. And by doing that, well, she was also doing some cyberbullying. So she was and DMing other girls and just saying how ugly they were, and basically saying the nastiest things about them. And that just shows how insecure this girl is. Now, one of the viral videos that just came about not too long ago was of Marianne going out with her friends, and she started a fight with another girl. She threw a bottle at her and she started fighting. So of course I can't show the full clip here on YouTube because we know why. However, it is pretty disturbing that at just 15 years old, this girl has an intense reaction and just is violent and has a violent behavior from the get-go. There was a recent audio that came up of her at 14, 15, threatening another girl, saying that she doesn't know who she's messing with, that girl shouldn't be messing with Marianne because she knows a lot of people, she has a lot of connections.
A ver, güey, soy Marianne, güey, neta no te va a convenir que te metas con nosotros, porque, güey, yo tengo un chingo de paro y tú lo sabes. He quemado un chingo de gente, entonces no te conviene que estés quemando a esta niña, a esta Ale, porque no sabes cómo te puede ir. Yo digo que mejor le vayas bajando de huevos, hagas que borren las cosas, o neta te va a ir muy mal, y tengo hasta amigos narcos que te pueden hacer cosas, entonces mejor bájale de huevos, porque tengo muchas amistades que, o sea, güey, no te imaginas, así que mejor.
And she made a TikTok with that audio, basically making fun of a situation and taking it lightly as if nothing happened. She announced her pregnancy in May of 2024. There was a lot of drama that happened, and one of them was that in October of 2024, she announced that she bought a luxury home in Cancun, Mexico, which is where she was residing, and that the house had a value of 60 million pesos, which in conversion to Canadian currency is around $4.1 million. Now, a lot of people were pretty surprised because, wow, you know, she's, you know, apparently doing so well with TikTok and Instagram, and she already comes from a very wealthy family. And she even made a house tour of showing her house, showing how incredible this house was and how she was super excited that she bought it and everything like that. She never signed the proper documentation, so she never even owned the house. Why? Is because the original homeowner, Ricardo Ponce, made a TikTok shutting down every claim that Marianne made about the house. And he was pretty frustrated because he was seeing how she did a tour of his house that shows his cars with the license plates still on them, still they were exposed, his closets, everything. So after getting some backlash of this, Marianne made a TikTok of get ready with me and explaining that she is apologizing, how she made a mistake, of course, of how sorry she felt about lying to her fans, but at the end that it didn't matter anymore because she ended up buying another house. Now, the next thing that happened, which caused a lot of controversy, is that on Instagram, she posted on her story that she was being physically by her ex and how she has proof of all of this going on. On this Instagram story post, she put, "You had so many balls to get me pregnant, be responsible. And plus you hit me? No way, dude, you are such a low man." She tagged him and also put a picture of her sonogram of her baby. She then shared an audio of him, basically her. She did also post a video of her, which is now pretty much an audio, of how she was being treated, you know, and how she was allegedly being hit by her ex, Jose. Now, after a while, some of her followers were supporting her, saying how horrible he was, and Jose got a lot of hate. Now, after a certain while, he actually came up and said, "Hey, none of what she's saying is true. Like, I never hurt her, I never hit her, I never physically or emotionally ate her. So this is all false." And after a certain while, Marianne came up with this post. "I wanted to tell you that the stories of many of you could see yesterday that I uploaded everything was an experiment with my followers, and I am working with a violence campaign towards women, which helps all women who have gone through something like this, and we wanted to see the true support of a person or a follower that can give to someone, because most people only saw my stories for, quote, gossip, end quote, and very few could write to me. At the end of this experiment, it still helped me to see who really supported me in a difficult moment and those who are just there to watch without doing anything. I'm grateful that this did not happen to me and that it happens to many of them just to make fun of them. And I also want to thank to the people who were able to write to me, supporting me, and were worried about me. And I am sorry for giving you a scare. Now I know who really is there for me, and for everyone who knows my boyfriend knows that he would never be able to do something like that. And in fact, he helped many girls who have had this problem. So I've never encountered any similar issues in my relationship with him. And I know that it has never and will never happen. I think that many of us think that we really have many friends, but when it comes to a very difficult situation, not everyone will always show up to be there for you. Thank you for your support. And fortunately, it was not a real situation. So she lied about this whole situation. It was all a lie, and it was all for a social experiment. And the fact that she was also saying how she was working with a campaign towards helping women in these kinds of situations, but if you're working with a campaign, wouldn't you be tagging the campaign that you're working with? It just feels very fishy. Like, it's like, and she also said at the very bottom, if many of you are going through this situation, you can reach out to me. But like, you wouldn't be the right person. I feel like she wouldn't be the right person to write to, because she lied. To then say, oh, well, it's all a lie because it's a social experiment to see who my real friends are. You know, like, it just does not make any sense. After the birth of her daughter, her and Jose actually broke up. She continued making mom content of her showing her day-to-day life with her daughter and what she does as a routine for everything, and how she was a first-time mom. At the time, she was living in Cancun, Mexico, and her ex lived in Mexico City. So she would go sometimes back and forth to see him, and it is an understanding that they were no longer together. Now let's get into the actual crime. On February 5th of this year, Jose was in Mexico City, and he went to a friend's apartment near Pedregal Park in Mexico City. And in that apartment complex was him and a girl called Valentina. Valentina Gilabert is an 18-year-old model and influencer who resides in Mexico City and in Paris. And she has a pretty good and high following on TikTok, which has gained over 200,000 followers on TikTok. Now, before all of this happened, all of this crime, this is where it gets a bit tricky and a bit complicated. Now, a lot of sources that said that Valentina and Marianne were very good friends, and others said that they were just mutuals, that they knew of each other, but they weren't really friends, but a lot of their friends knew them, but they just weren't friends. All based on different sources and different people saying different things. What I believe is that they knew of each other, but I don't think they actually met. I don't think they actually really talked to each other. However, there is some claims that Marianne made threats to Valentina because, as some of you know, Valentina started dating Jose. And the reason why is because Valentina and Marianne would comment on each other's Instagram pictures. It is said that Jose and Valentina started dating or started really seeing each other 2 weeks prior to the crime. Now, Jose did claim that they never really dated. They were seeing each other, but it was never like, oh, that's my girlfriend. And so it is a bit tricky. However, there is evidence that Marianne found out that he was seeing Valentina, and she actually asked someone on Instagram if she saw Jose with her daughter in Mexico City strolling around the park with Valentina. So on that day, on February 5th, Jose said that he left the apartment to go get some beers, which meant that Valentina stayed in the apartment to wait for him. Marianne went to Mexico City. She knew the person who owned the apartment because it was her friend. And so she knew how to gain access to that apartment. And when she went in, she found Valentina. They started arguing in results of Marianne's jealousy. She went in to use those utensils, which were allegedly 2, went back to see Valentina, and she hurt her multiple times. Valentina was approximately 15 times on her neck, hands, thorax, and face. Jose came back to the apartment to find Valentina in the state that she is, but did not see Marianne anywhere. So Marianne escaped. He called for help, and Marianne went to the urgent care right away. So police were trying to find Marianne all night, trying to find where she is. And the next day in the early morning, she was later found, arrested, and sent to the public ministry, which is the public prosecutor's office. Valentina suffered many severe injuries, and one of them led to her lung being punctured. She was then put in an induced coma and is in intensive therapy and is fighting for her life. Now, when this case came about and people on social media obviously had some things to say, a lot of people on social media said that Marianne should be charged of attempted feminicide, which is actually a huge issue in Mexico right now, that there is at least 10 women and girls that are every day. However, due to Marianne being under the age, mind you, she is 17 years old right now, it won't be possible due to the laws in Mexico. She could be receiving a maximum penalty of just 5 years. 5 years for, of course, attempted murder. She went there to want to kill Valentin because Valentina started dating her ex, Jose. Now, Valentina's mom made a video stating of her daughter's very serious condition.
Hola, buenas tardes. Soy Maureen, mamá de Valentina Gilabert. Grabo este audio para que sepan, uno, agradecerles el apoyo que se ha recibido, el apoyo infinito. Muchísimas gracias, en estos momentos ha sido esencial para nosotros. También sepan que la información certera solo va a salir por medio de la familia y nuestros abogados. Lamentamos comunicarles que el caso de Valentina, la vida de Valentina sigue en peligro. Está en terapia intensiva, está intubada y en coma inducido. Todavía no se sabe qué puede suceder con la vida de Valentina.
Now, what is crazy to me about this case is that a lot of people on social media are defending Marianne's actions, defending her, saying how, you know, Valentina's a slut and a homewrecker and that she deserved what she got and that Valentina was Marianne's friend, so how dare she take Marianne's boyfriend away from her. Mind you, Marianne and Jose were already broken up when this happened. Jose supposedly started dating Valentina 2 weeks prior to the attack. And I really don't think that Valentina and Marianne were actually friends. I think they knew of each other, and I do really believe that they had a lot of friends who were friends of each other. So it just made sense that, especially in the influencer world, that they knew of each other. Also, people online said that the reason why Marianne attacked Valentina is because Marianne has postpartum depression after giving birth. But in this clip, which is a clip of Marianne answering questions on her Instagram story, and she denied having postpartum depression because she thinks that it is the most stupidest thing. She thinks it's a stupid thing to go through. Here's the video.
Obvio no, y la neta esto, fúnenme amigas, fúnenme, pero se me hace una pendejada. Total, la depresión postparto, güey, no entiendo cómo chingados te puedes deprimir después de tener un bebé. O sea, neta es la cosa que más vas a amar en tu vida y te da depresión, güey. No entiendo, que tu cuerpo cambió, no sé, cosas así. Es como, güey, literal tu cuerpo cambió, pero diste vida a un bebé, ¿sabes? O sea, es como, fúnenme, sí, pero se hace una pendejada.
The fact that she's saying that it's a stupid thing, that this is a ridiculous thing, is absolutely astonishing to me, because a lot of women, especially after giving birth, they do get postpartum depression. They really do. You're giving birth to a child, a baby, and it's the most natural thing to do. So of course all that stress that you go through is completely normal. It is not something, it's not an easy thing to go through. And the fact that she's making fun of it is really, really disgusting and just shows how immature this girl is. Now, this next thing that I'm gonna tell you guys, it's pretty shocking, and this is all alleged. Marianne's friend said in an audio that has, of course, the voice has been altered, and we don't know of this friend, we don't know the identity of this friend. She claimed that Marianne started filming Valentina after the attack and said, and I quote, "This is what you get for being a whore." And she also said that the police have this video of her showing Valentina after the attack.
Se paró y la empezó a grabar.
And in the video, it allegedly shows that Valentina is begging for her life. At the time of filming this video, Valentina did wake up of her coma.
Also to note that today in the news, it was shown that Valentina did get released from the hospital. You can tell in the video of her being released that her left hand is all bandaged up. She's, she has her hoodie, she's in a wheelchair. She's not really talking to anyone, but she is thanking for everyone who have supported her through all of this.
The fact that a lot of people are defending Marianne for her actions clearly shows that there is a lack of maturity in today's world, and how the life of influencers are just, it just is ridiculous. Like, how would you defend a girl who almost murdered her ex's new supposed girlfriend? And look now, she is leaving her 5-month-old baby. She left, and she, like, what is that baby gonna think when she grows up and knows that her mom did this? Jose has not said anything further of this. I hope Valentina really fully recovers and that she gets the justice that she deserves. And I also really hope that there is new laws that change, because Marianne is 17 years old, basically under the age. She cannot be prosecuted as an adult, which is insane because she is almost already like emancipated and is a mom, and I don't think she's remorseful because of how her behavior was when she was 14, 15, 16. Do you think she would really be remorseful of her behavior? Hell no.
I also meant to say, but I just forgot. If she's able to get pregnant, go and dress however she wants, dress very old, act old, I think she should clearly be prosecuted as an adult. She's acting like one, or she wants to be acting like one. Clearly, she isn't acting fully like an adult because of her behavior and how she is just violent. If she's able to get away with this, imagine the other people that she's going to end up hurting. And that could be her ex's new girlfriends, or just people that are still her friends. You just don't know. And that's clearly a danger to society.
Anyways, this is a really sad case. There is a lot to follow up and see what's going on. And I really hope that Valentina gets the justice she deserves, because this is not right at all. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really hope to make videos about these cases. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time.